Okay, today we are playing a game on Eichenwalde. We are playing Lucio on attack and Mercy on defense, and this is a competitive game, but it took place during placements, so who knows what the SR is doing. So we've got Lucio, Roadhog, Diva, Soldier, Symmetra, and McCree. So our team is very awkward. For one thing, we only have one actual support because Symmetra is a DPS hero, not a support. And so we only have one healer. We don't have a main tank, so we don't have Reinhardt, is basically what I'm saying. And we have two, long-range, mid-long range heroes. And Symmetra. So, and we're playing on Eichenwalde, which is one of the harder choke points in the entire game. So, what we're going to have trouble with here is, we're going to get fucked as soon as we poke our face out, because we don't have a shield to stand behind. We only have one healer, so it's going to be hard to actually survive this damage coming in. But we can't fully dive on them either, because we have two long-range DPS. So Diva's going to be diving in by herself a lot of the time, and she's going to have nothing to follow it up, because none of these heroes can actually follow her. So we have a very awkward and disjointed team composition right now. And the first time I watched this video through, I was like, this game is long enough that you must get the first checkpoint. But I was like, how can this possibly happen with this team comp? Like, it is that fucked up. So Junkrat's over there, and Roadhog is going to manage to catch him over in this room over here. Junkrat is now dead. So they're down a person at the beginning of the game. However, that person that we killed was Junkrat, so they were already down a person anyway. So, effectively, nothing has changed. So, now we are going to immediately see the issues of his team composition, where Roadhog has stepped out and immediately gotten killed. Or almost killed. McCree has also poked his face out and almost immediately gotten killed. Symmetra poked her face out and immediately got killed. So, this is the issue we're going to be having right now. Roadhog poked his face out, now dead. This is a problem that we're having right now. So, Diva's over here, she's gotten fucked up. McCree's going to get fucked up again. We should amp it up right now, because a lot of low HP people right now. Amp it up currently off cooldown, so we should heal these people up as quickly as possible. We don't do that. McCree's now also gone off by himself, and he's going to poke his face out with one hit point and get killed the second something sees him. So, but we should have amped it up there to heal everybody back up to full HP. We'd also be we're already most of the way there, but we'd basically have our ultimate if we fully healed, both those people would amp it up, because we're at 70% already. And we're less than 50 seconds in as well, so we are charging our ult unreal fast. Especially considering we haven't actually shot at the enemy team, this entire game yet. So, Diva currently is in there. We have arranged with our team that we are going to try and speed boost our way in. Now, here's the thing with that plan. It's generally hard to get your team to actually agree to do something in solo queue anyway. Just in general, broadly speaking. But you're also asking your team now, which is McCree, Soldier, Roadhog, Symmetra. Diva's already in there and getting killed, so she doesn't matter. You're asking these people to speed boost in there with you, but we don't have a shield to actually protect us as we're going in. Symmetra tries, but it's not exactly Reinhardt. So you're asking all of these fairly squishy people to just, run at them. Because we do all have to run at them, with nothing to protect us as we go in. And they aren't going to do that, and they don't. So we get in no problem. Diva arrives exactly as Diva gets killed as we arrive. Then we turn around and see they didn't follow us at all. And, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say something stopped them from going in, but, it's not gonna happen with, the team comp we have, basically. They're gonna be as the speed boost happens, they're gonna be oh, I don't really want to do that. I don't think I will. I think I'll let them go instead. And then nobody actually goes. Looks like Roadhog and Symmetra, tried to go, but it didn't really work out for them either. It's it's not going to happen with our team. This is what I could not imagine a way that you all got through this choke point and actually took the point, basically. Especially not if they had a Reinhardt, which they don't, thankfully. If they had a Reinhardt, this would be, impossible for us with this comp. So, we get through the doorway again, and we take a big chunk of damage as we're coming in. And now, don't keep going this way. Do not keep going this way, because now we are on the wrong side of the enemy team, and both our tanks just died as this has happened. But now, we're on this side of the enemy team, and our team is on the other side of the enemy team, so this is really not great for us. Tracer's, like, over here as well. We then, like, look over the cliff and see, like, all these people down here, and we decide that we're gonna jump down into them. And it's amazing we don't just get blown up and killed immediately. We actually managed to, like, get around, and now we're gonna go back in for round 2. Most of our team is actually dead right now. Both of our tanks are already dead, and then we see Tracer is not looking like she's gonna get out. Would not come up this way again, because this is not going to happen. Soldier has now put the tack visor on, and we have ducked out of the way. Also, by the way, you might have noticed that Roadhog and Diva seem to have gotten back very quickly for having just died. It's because the teleporter is up in this room up here. Which I don't think we know about just yet. But, so that's why they got back really quickly. Roadhog has immediately died again, and we have now stepped on a trap. So now we get to see, oh, Symmetra has put a teleporter down, and now our whole team is actually reinforcing very quickly. So it also turns out that if we just backed out and waited for a couple of seconds, rather than going in when everybody was still dead, we could have just reinforced really quickly and then come back in with the sound barrier as the majority of our team came out of the teleporter. But instead, we died, now we have to come through the teleporter, and the fight's already halfway over by the time we get back here again. So we come out, and we just immediately drop the beat again, fair enough. Do not right-click the Pharah like this, because you almost saved her life. If the Pharah was not as low as she is when you do this, you would have saved her life, because you push her really far away, but she's low enough that the tether only has to be on her for half a second to actually kill her. When you're playing Lucio, don't just boop someone for no reason, because you, more often than not, are just going to end up saving their life. The boop doesn't actually do any damage. It does like 20 damage. It's nothing. But it can mess up your own DPS. Like right there, we could have just completely pushed that Pharah out of Symmetra's range, and then she might have just lived and completely changed the fight. But just like imagine, on more like a general level, most Lucio players will do something like they'll run up to somebody, left-click them, punch them, and then right-click them. The right-click doesn't add any damage. It does no damage, but it can mess up your own DPS. Because imagine, while you're doing that, a soldier is lining up the helix rockets, or just a McCree is trying to shoot the person, and then suddenly they don't see you coming, you come up, just push them halfway across the map, and then suddenly you trade like 120 damage for 20 damage. It's not worth it. Don't right-click people for no reason, because you just end up saving them half the time. And it does nothing, basically. You want to boot people for a reason, which is like, you're going to push them off a ledge, you're trying to peel for somebody, like if Symmetra is tethered to your Mercy, you boop the Symmetra to try and get her off the Mercy, you know, that kind of thing. Or like, if, like, Genji's deflecting and he's got like 5 hit points, you can right-click him and kill him through the deflect, like that kind of thing. Don't just boop somebody for the sake of booping them. Because we could have very easily saved that Pharah's life right there. So, right now, we should be in the healing aura because a bunch of people around us are low HP. We ourselves are at half HP, and Amp It Up is currently off cooldown. So we should switch to healing aura and, like, heal all these people up. Don't forget, we're the only healer on the team right now, so we do have to actually, like, be conscious of the fact people need healing. Because we have to actually do that. And then we step on a trap, we almost die. Fortunately, Junkrat died, so he didn't actually get to kill us, but we should have been, like, healing over this period of time. So we've managed to take the first point miraculously, purely through the teleporter cheese, which is incredible, because I really could not fathom a way that this worked out when I was watching this through the first time, and it was just like, we came through the teleporter quickly enough that we managed to reinforce and kill them. Incredible. So, right here, we've got to act more decisively when we see this happen, right? So we see that Reinhardt's getting fucked up down here. We come around the corner, we see Roadhog bullying this man. There's no way this Roadhog doesn't just walk through the shield and kill the Reinhardt. So we have to, like, run in here, like, really decisively, we have to run in here, and then just push him as far back as way as possible. Like, we have to get, like, up to Reinhardt and try to push him out of the doorway. Because, like, that's the only way you save him. So, what happens instead is we come at him, and he gets shielded, so we know in hindsight this was not going to matter regardless, but we can't know that ahead of time. The angle we try to boop him from, it wouldn't actually make any difference, because we boop him in a way that would make him just hit this wall, so it would not actually save the Reinhardt's life. We have to really decisively, like, go up and, like, try to push him out the doorway, because that's the only way we save Reinhardt. We know it wouldn't have worked in hindsight, but that's what we gotta try and do. So, then Reinhardt decides that he's just gonna go out there, which is certain death, but he does manage to trade lives with the Roadhog instead, and over here we see Symmetra's just killed Zenyatta as well. So we are actually a man up right now. So it's and they don't have a Reinhardt, so we aren't really at a significant disadvantage for losing our Reinhardt. I mean, we are, because we don't have a Reinhardt, but like, if they also had a Reinhardt, and our Reinhardt died, that'd be really bad. But they don't have one, so we can kind of still keep going off of this anyway. So, really odd, like, over this period of time, we just kind of, like, look at them, and don't, like, shoot at anything for a while, which is, like, yes, Zarya had the shield on her and everything, but you could be shooting at, like, the Junkrat or something instead. It's just really weird that we just kind of, like, look at them. Like, even here, we just, like, look at them for a long time, which I guess is because we're, like, looking at people that we need to heal. But, like, shoot at people, that's really, like, efficiency, you know. So, Symmetra, died right there trying to kill Pharah. She got Pharah low enough that we could finish her off. Right here, we see that this soldier gets really low HP. We're going to chase the soldier. Now, the thing is that if Amp It Up was on cooldown the second this starts happening, like, if we could just switch it into Amp It Up and amp up the speed boost right now, I think you could justify this, because you'd get on him quickly enough that you are definitely going to kill him. Instead, like, he gets out of the way, and it takes us a long time to get over here. It's Soldier. By the time we get over here, he's sprinted to the other side of the staircase, and he's too far away from us now. And more to the point, though, it's like D.Va needed healing. We're the only healer. Rather than chasing off after people, what we should do instead is just stay and support our team, because that's, like, what we should be doing. And we're like, we are the only support on our team right now, so we kind of have to stay with our team and support them. We can't really go and do aggressive Lucio things. We have to be only healer Lucio. And now we're in an awkward position where neither staircase is particularly appealing to us right now. So, it gets really awkward for us really quickly. We also decide that we're going to come back out this way. I would not come out this way. We know it's going to work out perfectly fine. I would not come out this staircase, because this is the staircase we know there's a Roadhog in, which could very easily get us killed. Rather than going this way, I would just leave the other way and come out the other side, which is perfectly safe. Because we are the only support right now. Us dying is really, really bad, and this is a very risky way to go, because Roadhog can just one-shot kill us. So, things are going okay. D.Va's gotten killed out here, which is unfortunate. We've been pulled into the Graviton. We decide to use Sound Barrier because we also hear Attack Visor happening. Also, if you're playing Soldier and your Zarya traps people in the Graviton, don't use Tac Visor, because if they're in the Graviton, you don't need the aim box. They aren't fucking moving. But that's a side thing that upsets me. I always get very tilted when I see a soldier do that. So, we decide that we're going to run up and try to push this Pharah off the edge right here. That's not going to work out. This is not going to happen. And like, yeah, Zenyatta's here, but we didn't know that. We were coming up here to try and boop this Pharah. This is very unlikely to work, and is very risky, because we run, like, right at the enemy team as we're doing this. And it's only, like, a Zenyatta and a Pharah. That's actually still pretty spooky, though, because he puts the Discord Orb on us, and we drop kind of low. It's not going to work, and you just put yourself in a lot of danger by doing that kind of thing. And, you know, just imagine there's, like, a McCree or something here, right? And we just get shot and killed instead. Like, it's very risky. Wouldn't recommend that one. Also, when you've got Discord Orb on you, first priority is usually getting Discord off of you, especially when you're the only healer, so staying alive is really important. Just, instead of, like, get that Discord Orb off of you by breaking line of sight, instead of, like, running around in the open a little bit more. So, over here, we see that they have a Reinhardt now. We are coming over here. We boop the Reinhardt off the edge. Sick. We don't notice that our Reinhardt is getting bullied by Mei, though, right over here. We should be trying to help this Reinhardt a little more actively, like shooting at the Mei. So, now, Reinhardt's going back in. A lot of things happening around us. We can see that Reinhardt is about to get frozen. So what we should do is basically just, like, wait until we think he's about to get frozen, and then just push the Mei away. We try to, like, boop her off the edge, it looks like. That's not going to happen. She is not in a workable angle for that. Instead, what we should do is just push her away from the Reinhardt so that we at least mess up her headshot. Instead, we're like, try to shoot the moon and, like, push her off the edge. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. And now we're in this really awkward position because we went further than we had to try and do that. So we end up having to take this really obtuse way to get out. So we see a Widowmaker over here. Widowmaker's low HP. We amp it up to try and heal her, but then we, like, immediately leave her. Like, she is not full HP yet, and we just kind of, like, leave immediately. Like, if you're gonna amp it up to heal her, at least stay to fully heal her. Then we come over here. I would have probably just, like, healed up the Widowmaker by just the aura and save amp it up, because I'd rather have amp it up for, like, the team fight that's happening over here. But anyway, so now we're over here. Now they have an Orisa. So, you know, team's changing. Team's in flux right now. We see Roadhog has just been bullied to death over here. Orissa's already dead. We shot at her dead body because she kind of looked like she was still alive for a second. So there's Mei again. She's not going to do anything. Don't have to worry about that one. So Soldier's all the way over there right now. So what we decide to do now is also not very recommended, because we decided we're going to run at the Soldier. This is not your job, generally anyway, to, like, go off and deal with a soldier doing this. And besides that, we are the only healer. Staying alive is very important. We are going to go try and deal with the soldier. We also run at him in basically a straight line the entire time. He puts on tack visor as we arrive, and if he shot us 2 times as we were running at him, we would have died right here. And that's really bad. Dying is not good, especially when you're the only support. This is just, like, not your job, and, like, it's really risky, because we run in, like, a straight line at the soldier across this really open space. It's very risky. Wouldn't recommend that one. It's just not your job. Like, let your DPS deal with it, basically. So, Symmetra has died over here in our absence. Lots of things currently happening right now. Roadhog's over here is almost dead. We kill him before he can start huffing on his paint. D.Va over there, currently getting fucked up. Mei over here, generally being annoying. So, Reinhardt's going in right now, and Soldier's gonna use tack visor. Just ult right now. Like, we're fighting at this point. Soldier's just said he's gonna use tack visor. Just ult right now, because we're gonna fight. We're in. And then we, like, maybe save the Reinhardt's life if we ult a little bit sooner. Probably not, but, like, we're in at this point. This is the fight that we're choosing to pick. Just ult, basically. Sound barrier is best used as early as possible when you're going in, so ideally, like, the Reinhardt has the sound barrier by the time he's arriving, basically. Rather than what actually happens. We get away after stepping on this trap, which is divine providence at its finest right there. So, lots of people really low HP right now. This happening over here. Very oddly, again, we don't shoot into the Roadhog for a little while, but then we start shooting into the Roadhog. Tire happening over here. We come out into the tire. Don't go out this way, because we hear the tire right around now. Tire's probably going to go like that. So instead of coming out here, probably on a collision course with the tire, we go in here. This is the much less likely way for him to find us. Instead, we come out here. Oh, look, there's the tire, and we died at the tire as well. Just, like, hang a left through that doorway instead. So that's happening right there. Everyone's dead. No one survived. Everybody currently dead. So, now we are waiting for our team to, like, group back up again. Symmetra has not gotten the memo. She's still going. Reinhardt just got pushed off the edge by Lucio, which looked really funny, actually, because, like, just, like, this speck suddenly slid up out of him. Slipped up at him. Suck it, old man. Okay, so now we have to wait for Reinhardt. Symmetra still not gotten the memo. Symmetra in real deep right now. D.Va going in to try and, like, get the Symmetra out. Symmetra is currently being bullied very hard in this corner right now, because there's a lot of shit happening in front of her. She can't walk out right now, and it's very sad. So we only have a minute left, so we're gonna get, like, one more good push in on this round. We don't have very many ultimates to work with right now, I assume, because we only know ours, and we saw the soldier used his. Just as a general thing, for, like, all heroes, push tab more often, because it's important to know who has ultimates, because that affects how you play. Just push tab more often, see who has their ultimates, because I would like to know how many people have their ultimates right now. So Reinhardt's just used Earth Shatter. It was real bad, and didn't actually get anything done. So, we're now going in. We put our face right into Roadhog as that was happening. We're being frozen by Mei right now, so we're trying to, like, get away from her. We've gotten away from her, and now we're coming back around. Amp it up, not currently up, so we're going to have trouble healing these people who are currently getting very fucked. D.Va using her ultimate in a very interesting way, miraculously kills 2 people. So, that's fantastic. Just heard Junkrat using his tire, that's very scary, we don't know where it's coming from. There's the tire. He used it just on Widowmaker. Perfect news for us, frankly. So, we've almost got Sound Barrier built up, because we've been healing a lot of people over the course of this. This is not a very recommended, path that we take through that area. I don't know what's happened to my fucking mouse right now. I could not find my mouse for the life of me. So, all these people, low HP, we're low HP. We jump right off the edge of this platform in full view of their team, while we're like half HP. Not really a recommended course of action, just like hop off the side, get behind the Reinhardt in between the payload, and like start healing everybody up from there instead, rather than going right in front of the enemy team, because that's real spooky. So we actually push Mei further into our team, which is not a good idea. Don't like just boot people for the sake of it, like, I have a reason to be doing it. So, currently in overtime, we just use Sound Barrier right now. I would not use it just yet, because nothing is currently happening. I mean, things are happening, but we're not fighting actively yet. We could save this for a little bit longer, for like when our team is actually fighting. Like, it would be better to use it right now, because we've just heard our Reinhardt start charging in. But our sound barriers have almost already faded off of us. If we save it until like right now, we could be going in with a full sound barrier instead of a mostly gone sound barrier. So we could have just held that ult for like a second or 2 longer and gotten more value out of it, because we were just all huddled up around the cart at the time. We weren't actually fighting yet. So, team currently fighting right now. They have a Bastion, which is pretty spooky. But he's currently dead. We are trying to beat this Lucio to death right now. We have beaten that Lucio to death. Mei is over here being annoying, but not getting much done. Again, don't boop her for no reason. That's the kind of boop that can make it more difficult for your team to kill her, especially since you pushed her past a wall as well at the pillar. So you might have messed up your DPS right there. Don't boop people for no reason. So we're trying to like push her out of the way of the shield there, it looks like, but we didn't quite get it. So that's unfortunate. Fight's happening. Soldier currently using tac visor. Reinhardt very low. We don't have anything to actually we don't have amp it up just yet to heal him, and he's dead before it comes off cooldown. That sucks. Things are all going like fairly well, all things considered. Mei currently going around freezing people. Oh no. Everybody left the payload to do that. Everybody left the payload. And, like, I'm not gonna tell you to, like, hang around here and keep touching the payload as the low HP as, like, the support. It's just, everybody saw the Mei ult and everybody left the payload, so that sucks. Honestly, though, it's very rare both teams actually get inside the castle on Eichenwalde, in my experience. Much less to, like, the end of the 3rd checkpoint, because we got it right to the end. We basically got it to the end of Eichenwalde. I wouldn't expect it to actually matter if we get it to the end of Eichenwalde. So, we're gonna play Mercy now. I've skipped way too far ahead. So, we still don't have a Reinhardt, which is very spooky. We're still the only healer. We have D.Va, Roadhog, Junkrat, Symmetra, and Bastion. So, we're very, very sad if they pick Pharah, basically. So, but we're gonna make the best we can of it, and as you can see, there isn't actually that much time left on this replay. So if things go alright. Okay, so, now, we've got a Bastion. Tracer tried to come in and got really, really fucked. Let's watch that one again. In slow motion. Probably gone back a little too far. Nope. The spider web got her. Alright, so, now, we are doing a lot of healing people at full HP during this period right there, which is not very good efficiency. We're also do this thing where we keep cutting in front of the choke point and, like, walking really far forward. We want to be really far back. Like, we We do this a few times where we walk, like, back and forth in front of the choke point, which is really scary. And we also just, like, get real close to them. We don't really ever want to go past, like, this point, because that's like, getting into the danger zone. You don't want to ever cut in front of the choke point as, like, any hero, basically, and we do that a few times during this round. And we just kind of, like, get really close to people a lot of the time. I want to be, like, further back. You know, like, this is really scary, especially since they have a Roadhog. The enemy team spends a lot of time focusing Bastion, so we kind of, like, get away with this positioning a little more, but we get dangerously and scary close to these people a lot of the times, but they're more interested in Bastion than us, so we kind of get away with it. Like, we don't need to be here. Like, this is really, really close and really scary. Because don't forget, they have a Roadhog. Like, it's not, like... Imagine he just comes around this corner and he kills us, right? Or there's a McCree and he just comes around the corner and kills us. We don't need to be this close. We could be, like, you know, like 10 or so feet back and might be doing everything we're doing right now, but be safer. Like, oh, there's Reinhardt. That's kind of spooky. Like, oh, there's Roadhog hooking people. Like, we get real close. We also just are generally not looking around very much, which sort of became evident right there. So I went off to my own world for a second, you might have noticed. Like, why are we looking over here? Right? Because, like, again, we're really close to people. But then we, like, look away from, like, where all the enemies are, and we just, like, get pinned because we're not looking in that direction. We're generally not really, like, looking around that much in this game. Look around more often, especially when you're playing, like, a support. Supports generally have the most leeway to look around at things. Mercy in particular, because she doesn't have to be looking at the person she's healing. So you can look around as much as possible. Just, like, look everywhere. Look everywhere. Just constantly be, like, swinging your mouse around the screen, like, looking around at people. This is also, I didn't bring this up at the time, because it slipped my mind in between everything else that was happening. While you were playing Lucio, I noticed a few points where you had to, like, when you were trying to, like, turn 180 degrees, and you had to, like, turn 90, pick up your mouse, turn back, then keep turning again. So I think your sensitivity's a little too low, or, like, you don't have enough mouse space, because, like, I noticed a few times watching it through earlier that you had to, like, pick up your mouse to turn all the way around, which is generally a sign that your sensitivity is a little bit too low, or that you don't have enough space. Seem to have bumped the camera at some point. That's the hole in the ceiling that my cat is responsible for, by the way, because he's an asshole. Isn't that right? He's asleep right now, but trust me, he's an asshole. So, just generally, be like looking around all the time. So, Junkrat was over here fighting Junkrat. Our Junkrat won. By the way, the enemy team's down a person right now. They actually have a lever between the rounds, so things are looking pretty good for us right now. But yeah, we're getting real close right now. Like, we went up to the choke point. There's no reason for us to do that. We can be standing further back. Now we're out of line of sight, which is, like, fair enough. Don't do that. That's spooky right there. We're out of sight, line of sight of the enemy team, which is, like, fair enough. Like, this is fine. But you do have to, like, keep very close watch of this doorway if you're gonna stand over here, because the enemy team, like, Roadhog might just be in that doorway and he might just hook you into the darkness and kill you, which would not be cool. So, like, this is fine, but you have to be looking over here a lot. So, but then, why do we do that? Like, we just GA, like, 3 feet in front of us and, like, cut in front of the choke point again. But why did we do that? Right? Why did we do that? We're healing the person that needs healing. He's not gonna get out of line of sight, and then we just, like, go forward, and we cut in front of the choke point again. You're just asking to get hooked, or, like, shot by some random damage and killed. Like, and we have to walk back in front of it. Again, we want to cut down on walking through across the choke point. Because it's real scary. So, a bunch of the enemy team just got killed. Symmetra has, Mercy has ulted them. We hear fire in the hole happening, so we break our tether and try to get out of the way. We're sort of waiting around to see if people die. Nobody actually dies, so we come back out and heal. Other than Roadhog, but we're not going to solo res Roadhog. Again, we're not, like, looking around very much. We're, like, looking at the person we're healing. You don't need to be looking at D.Va. Like, look at the danger, because that's what's, like, Diva's fine. You're tethered to Diva. Look over here. See what's going on in the danger zone. Danger zone! Don't want to be looking at the person you're healing. We generally also, like, it's not really come up, we'll talk about it later. So we managed to get out of the way of that, which is good. That's a really bad Earth Shatter, honestly, because his team was not in a position to capitalize. Whatever. So we do a lot of healing people at full HP during this, also. Which we saw a little bit of there while we were pushing tab. But, like, it comes up, it's gonna be more of a thing. So, currently healing him at full HP. We call this empty healing, by the way. Don't want to be doing that. So we come in here, kind of like out of the way of something, right? I think we heard Soldier using Tac Visor. Yes, we hear Soldier using Tac Visor. Junkrat's right there. Junkrat was right there, right in front of us. We didn't notice. Junkrat was like coming at us like a mugger with a knife, and we did not see him. And we just incidentally walk away before he kills us. And he breaks the teleporter instead. That's really spooky. I gotta be looking at your whole screen. Awareness, generally something that I noticed to be an issue. Also, healing people, full HP. Doing good empty healing. Even if you're going back and forth healing people, if you're like healing somebody, and you're like on your way over to heal somebody else, when the person you're currently healing is full HP, just switch to the damage boost while you're still getting over to the other person. Because you gotta be as efficient as possible. It's hard to carry as a support in general, Mercy more so than the others, because she can't actively contribute in the fight. I mean, she can, but she has to, like, put away her staff, so she's generally less helpful. So, like, you have to be as efficient as possible, and, like, just, like, cutting down on empty healing as much as possible will, like, serve you very well. Even just, like, the couple of seconds that you're walking over to somebody else to heal them, just be damage boosting the person as you're walking away. And try just to, like, not be healing people when they're at full HP. Now, right there, you know, just, like, switch to the damage boost while you're trying to get over to other people. It's just generally good practice. Right here. Healing a few people there at full HP. There's a fight happening right now, but it's honestly like nothing's happening. Like, this is one of the least interesting fights I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, it just kind of ends. So, like, we're healing him at full HP. Damage boost more. Healing at full HP. Empty healing. Trying to get over to the Diva. Could be damage boosting somebody while we're walking over to the Diva. Here comes Reinhardt. That's not a legal maneuver. He's fucking dead now. Enemy team at this point probably just given up. You know. F you, someone or other. I assume they're leaver. There's not much to talk about anymore because the enemy team is not really doing anything. We've kind of already covered all of the important aspects, really, and now we're just kind of like watching the enemy team not really get very much done. As we like go back and forth between people. All of this is empty healing, damage boost these people. Like, it doesn't matter at this point. Like, it's not gonna matter at this point, but like, be damage boosting these people who are at full HP instead of healing them. Because think of it this way, right? Think about it this way. And think of it the same way with Lucio as well. If you have your healing beam attached to somebody that's at full HP, that's the same as your beam being turned off. If you are on healing aura as Lucio, and everybody's at full HP, that's the same as you having no aura currently turned on. As efficient as possible, we want to have our beam and our aura doing something. We don't want to ever have it doing nothing. So, fight happened, 2 people died, we rezzed them, fair enough. Fight, still incredibly unremarkable in what's happening. We've won. We just have to get all these people off the point, you know. Someone's touching it again. It's Mercy. She's dead. Tank. We won! Woo! Good job, us. Miraculously. Like, I really couldn't, and I started watching, I was watching it with my friend as well, who likes to watch the, support videos, just because she's a support main, despite always being tilted. She was reasonably not tilted by this one. Instead of like the usual 45-degree slant, it was like 20 degrees instead. We could not imagine a way that you like won this game, basically. And I was surprised, like I looked at the timeline like, how do you even get the first checkpoint with this team? But we ended up winning, which is incredible. And it just goes to show you, also, yeah, typical Bastion play at the game right there. It also just goes to show you that anything can work, basically. So, also I find it very funny that our Symmetra main was named Teemo, because I was/am a League of Legends player, so that's very funny to me. You'll know why, if you know anything about League of Legends. So, the thing that stands out the most, we put ourselves in very scary locations a lot of the time. Very dangerous positioning. This kind of like ties in with Lucio. I'm talking more about Mercy when I say this, but like Lucio, we were putting ourselves into some risky locations as well. As well as just like generally not being with the team when we needed to be a few times. Like, you gotta be real careful about not dying as a support, so you gotta be pretty safe about how you position. Lucio, you're generally expected to go in and do some damage as well, but when you're the only support, you have to actually just, like, stay with your team and support them, and not focus on not dying. Not dying is a very important aspect of playing a support, and very safe positioning. This is true of all heroes, like obviously all heroes want to not die, but support players are more important. It is more important you don't die as a support than any other hero, because if you die and you're the only support, well what happens is your team gets chipped down and they get killed before you can get back, and there's nothing they can really do about that, unless like your team is nothing but self-healing champions. Heroes. So not dying is very important as a support. There's like a whole series on YouTube by this guy, and it's just like, it's called like How to Not Die or something like that. I don't remember offhand. It's just about how to not die as all of the support heroes is that important. So it's very safe positioning. Awareness just in general. This was more evident to me on Mercy, but it kind of happens on Lucio as well. We're just really not like looking around very much. And we're not just like look around constantly. As any hero, really, but like just like look around more often. And like careful of like tunnel visioning on things, because there are a few things that happened on screen that we didn't actually see, like the Junkrat coming at us at the end right there, we didn't see happening. There was the part where we didn't seem to see the Mei when we were going in past the Reinhardt as well. You know, awareness, very important. Look around a lot more. Push tab more often. See who's got ultimates. That's also awareness. Those are like the biggest things that stood out. To be sure you're actually healing people as Lucio when you need to be, because there's like quite a few times where we could be healing, right? We should be healing people and we're not actually healing people as Lucio. Like, you want to be in speed aura as much as possible, yes, but you do have to actually still heal. Whenever you're playing a support, healing is top of your list of priorities, and then everything else is secondary. So, like, when you're playing Lucio, healing is the most important thing still, and then everything else comes secondary. But we do want to be in the speed aura as much as possible. Just be sure you are actually healing people when they need it as well. So, those are the major things that stood out to me. And my friend as well, who watched through earlier with me. So, thank you very much for watching. If you did, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. More than happy to answer. And I hope you found the video helpful.